So I just wanted to say thank you and welcome everyone for today's Conversations and Connection presentation. Today we're going to be talking about Arabic culture. April is Arab American Heritage Month, and we are very honored to have with us today Dr. Abla Hasan, a distinguished scholar in Arabic language, culture, and Islamic studies. She has a PhD in philosophy of language from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and an extensive teaching experience. Dr. Hasan brings a wealth of knowledge to our discussion today. Her passion for exploring Arabic culture and her commitment to fostering understanding and appreciation of its nuances are truly inspiring. She's been recognized for her outstanding contributions. She's received prestigious awards, including from the College of Arts and Sciences Engagement Award and the Distinguished Teaching Award. Today, Dr. Hasan will guide us through the rich tapestry of Arabic culture, sharing insights from her research and experiences. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Abla Hasan.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for the generous introduction. So I'm going to be sharing informal presentation today to introduce Arabs in the U.S., challenges that life as an Arab immigrant you have to deal with from time to time. And I believe we have an hour of a meeting today. I'll make sure to leave enough time for questions from you. Thank you again for the generous introduction, and thank you for celebrating the Arab Heritage Month as well. This means a lot to us. Now, to be an immigrant, or to be more specific, to be an Arab immigrant means to navigate between two different cultures or two different worlds. Now, Arabs in America appreciate the life and the lifestyle in the US, and they try to be as grateful as possible. However, there's a price and there's a set of unique problems that only, I would say, those who live their lives while having their hearts split between two cultures can understand. Today, I'm going to be sharing some inside secrets, I would say, from my life as an Arab American woman myself, someone who lived in the United States for the last 16 years. I'll try my best to explain how could some Arabs have so much more to worry about in their home countries and still feel way less happy when away from their original home countries. Let me start with this phrase, go back home, go back to your home, or go back home. Probably no Arab American lived their lives, maybe some, not to be, it's not that gloomy, but probably many of us heard this expression. But those who say it don't understand that the meaning of home itself, or what home stands for, shifts across time and space. In fact, immigration for so many of Arab Americans is not even a choice. It's not a choice before it takes place. So going back home is not a choice before it takes place, and it's not a choice even after it takes place. Because what you call your home changes with time. Many immigrants decide to start a new life in a new world, forced by economic, and I stress forced, by economic, social, and political pressure that does not leave much room to talking about immigration as a free choice. On the other hand, and this is where it gets really tricky, after taking that step, and I mean by that, after you sail to the new shore, there's no way back. Why? Simply because you're not yourself anymore after you took that step. Because you're not what you've been or what you left behind anymore. Many immigrants who visit their homes or home countries back after years and years of living abroad commonly feel alienated and even estranged. In fact, while many immigrants express feelings of regret for leaving their home countries, they only learn how to deal with that after they revisit their home countries after a long time of not revisiting them back. So what I want to say that this is home for Arab Americans. And today I'm going to share with you some challenges that Arab Americans go through while living in their home. First, the very speedy lifestyle. People in the West, especially in the US, live a very fast lifestyle. Amanda, you're already shaking your head approving it. Slowing down in life is not even an option almost in all careers. It's the hamster wheel lifestyle, right? If you feel like you can't get off, if you feel like life only keeps moving faster, and if you feel that you need to keep moving even faster to avoid falling behind, then welcome to the club. The American culture is a culture of achievement. That is true. Yet, it could be seen as obsessive in workaholism at times. That can lead to people not used to it feeling stressed and burned out. We, and allow me please here to use we as an American woman myself, in academia, we're obsessed with this constant pressure to make something out of ourselves. Unlike Americans, Arab people take their time in almost doing anything, eating, working, socializing, talking, and so forth. This leniency in time has even a name. We call it Arab timing, right? So, for example, for a person to say, I'm arriving by 3, expect them to arrive, of course, not professional meetings, but like social meetings, expect them to arrive 3 to 4. A warning, don't expect them, don't invite Arab guests expecting them to arrive on time, right? This is totally socially acceptable. Arabs slow down to enjoy the small details. For example, and to share with you some of my old memories from Syria, music in public transportation, even loud music, is very socially acceptable in the Arab world. Usually, it's almost the tradition to start your day with a specific singer, a song from Fairuz. And Fairuz is a very famous, no one in the Arab world, not only in Lebanon or Syria, doesn't know Fairuz. Very famous Lebanese singer. She's nicknamed the angel voice. And her music, her songs, force you in a way or another to slow down or to start your day with a heavy dose of positive energy. Now, having everyone listening to the same singer makes like everyone are starting their daily routine in a sweet way, the same way. This is what matters. It's kind of collective feelings. It's like drinking coffee, but everyone are drinking the same flavor of coffee. Even people can criticize you if you play other than like songs for someone other than Fairuz. I'm gonna play for you, and I hope this could be shared the correct way. Maybe a couple seconds from Fairuz. The other singer that makes kind of collective feeling in the Arab world is the Egyptian Kulthum. Kulthum is considered the best Arab voice of all times. And even when I share her music, even with my American students, they say she takes you into meditation. And Fairuz and Kulthum is more known for evening times. Amanda, please let me know if what I'm sharing, people can hear it. So this is Fairuz, the morning flavor of the Arab world. No?
Can't really hear it, no.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do, and this will be your after talk assignment, if you allow me to give you an assignment, you Google Fairuz, just Fairuz, and the same positive energy is there with all her songs. You get the flavor of mornings in the Arab world, and you Google Kulthum, the Egyptian singer Kulthum, and you will get a taste of evenings in the Arab world. But let's go with more problems then. So I addressed the very speedy lifestyle. And let me move to the meaning of success itself. The Arab culture doesn't share the exact same list of values with the American culture. Or to say it differently, the Arab world have a different order of what comes first in your list. And therefore, while modern lifestyle doesn't leave anyone without their own fair share of stress, the Arab immigrants seem to suffer more from this lifestyle and struggle the most when it comes to adapting to it. Something probably mental health experts in Nebraska or even in the US need to keep in mind while dealing with Arab population. Arabs, I would say, have a more holistic approach to the meaning of success or the meaning of happiness. For Arabs, it's not the things we do in our personal, it's the things we do in our personal lives that makes us who we are. So it makes like you think of yourself at least as successful or not. So it's not only the things that we have in our dry professional resumes. If you're successful in your career, making a lot of money, but not that happy with your social life, not that happy with family, not taking good care of your health, of your spirituality, this is not considered success according to Arab norms. The Arab, in other words, the Arab way of being successful is undividable. Arabs, to be honest here, could sometimes get a little bit judgmental at times and the question whether your professional success is affecting the quality of your life. Number 3, and I'm going to be sharing with you 10 quick slides today. A longer to-do lists. Let me go back to the same meaning or the same meaning of success or the same question that divides the Arab and the American culture into 2 different worlds. What do you consider as a personal achievement? For immigrants, the old meaning of success that they left in their home countries is not applicable to their new lives anymore or to their new lifestyle anymore. But still, it's what they care about the most because it's what makes them who they are. At the same time, they can't afford turning their backs to the new concept of achievement as seen, practiced, and lived in their new lives. Therefore, what they end with many times is a competition like no other competition and a long to-do list in life like no other list. The outcome is this long list that you need to take care of to think of yourself as really a successful person with well-balanced life. You need to add what is required as an Arab successful person to what is required as an American successful person. Number 4, the defined more strict or less strict defined gender rules. Life for men and women in the Arab world is complex and varies greatly between countries, but generally speaking, men and women occupy separate spheres, with men generally engaging in public and with women generally being responsible for the private sphere. This clear-cut dichotomy is not valid in the Western lifestyle, though. Arab women in the West, they had succeeded in finding their way to the public sphere. That is true. However, they had to add a long list, going back to to-do lists, they had to add a long list of workplace labor-related duties to their already long list domestic labor duties. In other words, the strictly defined gender rules and the less strictly defined gender rules in the United States turns joining the workplace for Arab women not as a replacement of their indoor labor, but just an additional duty. Let me give you a personal example as an Arab woman myself. So I'm supposed to take good care of indoor duties. The house needs to be spotless, shiny, and super clean anytime, all times. Men don't usually help unless it's an emergency case or something. Some Arabs were known for their food. Arab food is delicious. It's tasty, but it's time consuming. Some Arab meals take 6 hours to be prepared. You fry things, you stuff things, it needs to look good at the end of the day, like you're serving good food as if you're serving it in a restaurant. The tradition is to host people in your house all the time, both relatives and friends. When that happens, you need to serve, according to the tradition, no less than 5 to 6 homemade meals. This is the Arab way of showing generosity and hospitality. No Eid, no birthday or celebration can take place without homemade food. Ready or ordered food is saved only for emergencies. Someone is sick, therefore you're ordering food. You can't order food for your guests. This is the concept or the definition of good Arab wives or good Arab women, right? Something in the culture you can't turn your back to. And don't get me please wrong here. It's not like someone forcing this list on you. It's like what you absorb subconsciously as what makes you, what you can take pride in as a good wife or a good mother. So it feels bad if you neglect those duties, even if you can. Now, to be an immigrant woman means nothing but another list to be added to the first list of being a successful woman in your career or in your profession. And here I'm not oversimplifying the matter and reducing the Arab woman to inside success and American woman to outside or professional success. This is a very lazy dichotomy that I don't even believe in. But what I'm saying that for women in the American culture, the workplace or proving yourself in the workplace is way more demanding than the Arab culture, because the competition in the workplace is fierce in the American culture for men and women alike, right? On the other hand, it's way more challenging to be accepted in the culture as a successful Arab woman when it comes to indoor responsibilities, because actually what you're comparing yourself to is women who don't have professional lives, but women who devote all their life energy to indoor and domestic duties. Number 5, communication and different patterns of communication. The culture of it could be wrong. I left the Arab world like 16 years ago. It should be different, but from what I remember, the culture of the non-stop checking of emails and text messages and the obligation to be available anytime and every time to respond to your boss, your colleagues, your clients, or your students is not part of the Arabic professional life. No one is given a power to steal family times or invade vacation times, not for any reason. They won't respond to your email. Arabs are good when it comes to setting boundaries and prioritizing personal lives. So the expectation to check emails every 2 hours adds another level, I would say, of stress for people not used to that. Number 6, family and the family status, high status in the Arab world. There is an old Arab saying that says, أنا وأخي على ابن عمي وأنا وابن عمي على الغريب. Something that could be loosely translated to, I'm and my brother against my cousin, and I and my cousin against the stranger. So Arabs are family-oriented people. Family comes first. And I mean by family, not only immediate family members, but the extended family as well. No one is really alone or feels alone in the Arab world. The family is your main support group, which is reflected in the previous saying that I already shared with you. This gives a meaning or a feeling of belonging and support at all times. Now, individualism in the West empowers the human in different ways, but doesn't give or provide feelings of social support and peer validation. To admit, most of these feelings could proven not to be trustworthy on the long run, and I hate to say that, but at least they provide psychological illusion of support and safety. Now, losing these feelings of strong family support, it's what causes many immigrants to feel anxious, lonely, and even depressed at times. Number 7, language. Arabs are magicians, I would say, when it comes to language. They use words that could make you feel great, even if they don't mean them. Therefore, the American way of communication could shock some of them as straightforward and even blunt at times. For example, when you host a guest, you need to offer them something to eat and drink, even if they repeatedly say no. You need to repeatedly check if they're comfortable in their seats or not. Help yourselves when you serve something is not even acceptable as appropriate. The Arab language is so colorful, and mothers make sure to teach kids how to communicate properly. Missing this aspect affects immigrants' psyche negatively, as they feel less appreciated, which is not true, of course. It's just different patterns, I would say, or different ways of using the language. And let me give you some examples. For example, it's very common for when you visit someone to hear expressions like El Beit Beitak, which is my home is your home, even if they don't mean it. Things like Zaritna al-Baraki, the blessing we were visited by the blessing today. Zarna Nabi, it feels almost the Prophet visited us today. Sharaftuna, you honored us by your visit. And this is something common. You tell everyone, even your neighbor next to your door. It's not like someone royal visiting you. And people say it very fast. It's what's appropriate to say. You don't say it, people are not comfortable. And maybe it's subconscious, but people, when they don't hear that sweet language, they think like, at least it's not giving them that dose of happiness. Another thing or tricks in the language Arabs use all the time is addressing people only by their titles. So you don't just address someone by their name. You don't call people by their first name. Actually, there's a very sophisticated system to try to any trick to avoid calling them by their name. You add titles that give them impression of a value. If a person is elderly, you say Hajj or Hajja, which means someone who had the honor of doing the duty of the holy pilgrimage, even if you don't know anything about them. This is the way even you address strangers. You address strangers as my uncle, my aunt, my sister, my brother. People with professional titles, unless you're invited to call them by their first name, you never ever call let's say, a college professor by their first name. You call them as doctor. And by the way, it goes with the first name, not the last name. So I'm Dr. Hasan in the US, I'm Dr. Abla in the Arab world. The father of or the mother of. So the father of, and you call them by the name of their firstborn son or daughter at some cultures. So you invent any way to remind people of their accomplishments in life, giving them titles, even if the Ustad, teacher, right? You don't call teachers by their name. You never, ever. Miss and Mrs. Sayyid and Sayyida. Another tricky way of adding value to people you're talking to them And this comes in professional emails, or if you're talking to people like high ranks, addressing people in the royal plural form, you as a plural. There is a huge respect in the Arab community for the elderly. The more you get older in life, the more value you're given, which is not the same in all cultures. So elderly, they choose where to sit, they speak, everyone listen, their opinion is taken almost in everything. No one will share with them that they're not keeping up with technology or something like that. This is not even expected, right? They give their advice all the time, whether they know what they're talking about or not. They give their advice. A huge respect for teachers. I was introduced to the culture of students writing final semester evaluation only in the US. I'm not sure about the education system now in the Middle East, but when I left 2007, I was already a faculty at Damascus University, and it's not even a plausible thing for students to evaluate their teachers. You just respect your teacher. Someone hired them. It means they're already qualified. You can go into legal actions in cases you feel you're wronged or the grading was not fair, but it's not a routinely thing you just do by the end of the semester. The body language in the Arab world is very inviting. So kisses, hugs, handshakes, repeated handshakes for people same gender, a very warm body language. You're walking to the office or a common office, you shake hands with people, you leave for an hour, you come back, you shake hands with people again. Sweet ways of responding to people when they say your name. So someone is calling on you, you don't just say yes. You say something like, yes, my eyes, yes, my soul, yes, my heart. And this is, by the way, it's not like super romantic language. You say it all the time. Of course, you won't say it to a male colleague, right? But you can say it to responding to friends all the time, responding to family members all the time. When someone asks you a favor, yes, it's on my head, على راسي, it's in my eyes, بعيوني, أبشر. People, different cultures or different Arab countries will respond assuring, even before they hear what is the favor, they assure you, yes, I'm going to help. So it's not what, and then they respond, it's yes before they hear the request. Number 8, xenophobia, Islamophobia, and discrimination. Islamophobia is the fear of the hatred of Muslims, or it's the hatred of Muslims that leads to hostility, intolerance, threatening, harassment, abuse, intimidation offline or of Muslims and non-Muslims, both online and offline. Globally, many Muslims report not feeling respected by those in the West. 52% of Americans say the West does not respect Muslim societies. Now, in a way or another, some immigrants have to deal with that. Personally, I have so many concerns about internalizing the victim rule. I'm against it, and I always advise my students, my Muslim students, you're not victims, don't internalize it. But also, I don't want to deny that some could be victims from time to time to unwelcoming behavior. And speaking about Islamophobia, we can't speak about Islamophobia without speaking of my 9th point, which is media, because it's all in media. It's not even in the everyday life. Now, for decades, American films and TV programs have vilified Arabs as villains and terrorists. Many ideas about Arabs are rooted in Orientalist thought. Edward Said defines Orientalist thought as a drastically polarized classification that divides the world into our world and the other world. Disney's Aladdin, or Ala ad-Din in Arabic, released in 1994, is one of the most well-known Disney films. Yet the film refers to Arabs as violent, barbaric, and stupid. The film refers to women as over-sexualized, eroticized, and oppressed. The last few lines of the opening song says, probably you're familiar with this, where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. I wonder how much of this image has changed since then in media. And let me end with food. As trivial as this could sound, the Middle Eastern cuisine is known for its rich and aromatic spices. Arab dishes like hummus, falafel, and kebabs are popular everywhere now. Still, the authentic flavor of so many street food and already prepared meals, especially that it's very like time consuming. So as trivial as this could sound, people miss the authentic Arab food. Now, regardless of this long list of challenges that many immigrants deal with, and today I'm in a mission to speak on behalf of others, not my personal life, I have to admit that when it comes to my personal life, living these two or in between two worlds as an Arab American woman has brought meaning and purpose to my life. In many ways, I feel like I've been a peace builder and like a bridge and a cultural ambassador. After 16 years in the US, I feel I can understand and clarify misinterpretations and misunderstandings and stereotypes, and I can address them because they go both ways. And I mean by that, not only the way Arabs think of the American culture, but only the way Americans think of the Arab culture. I hope I was able to share some secrets from inside the Arab culture, but I hope we still have time if you still have any comments, feedback, or questions. And thank you for the invitation one more time. And thank you for celebrating the Arab Heritage Month.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Do we have any questions or comments? I think we had Teresa posted in the chat asking if she got the right singer. Fairuc, right?
Fairuz?
Yeah. I think that looks right. Yeah.
Yeah. She's very famous. Probably this is the first thing you got after Googling her name.
That makes sense. Mohammed, you had a question? Comment?
I just would like to know, like, the financial status and financial management role of women, especially in Arab world, because I see they have a huge duty managing finances of the home as well. So if she can elaborate a bit.
Now it varies according to the country. If the woman is working part-time or full-time, I know that many Arab women have moved into having a share of spending. If we're talking about the Islamic norms or teachings, I would say, so Islam has nothing against women's participation in the workplace. I believe personally it's encouraged because then you're taking a duty as a successor on earth. The mere reason for our existence on earth is to do something, but it's mainly still men's responsibility, I would say. So there is a very famous concept in the Quran, debated concept in the Quran and controversial, the concept of qawama, which I discuss in my class Women in the Quran with the students and in my first book. Qawama can boil down to financial duty to spend and to share with women, not only in the immediate family, but with the extended family. It means you share gifts with your mom, your sisters, with of course, your wife. But yeah, I don't know if this answers the question, but it varies. It varies according to the country, the social rank, even the motivation of women to participate in the workplace, because it's a huge responsibility, I would say. You need to be very brave, have a great organizational skills to add to everything you're doing inside, to add something from outside, and be good in both duties in life. But I don't argue against it. I support it, actually. Economic independence, I always argue, it's a shortcut to dignity for both men and women. And thank you for your question.
Wonderful, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Teresa, you always have good questions.
I have a question.
Oh yes, Gail.
When I meet a client, a man or a woman, how should I address them? Can I call them by something other than their name?
Yeah.
What I would call them.
Yeah, you can go with Mr. or Mrs. if you don't know them. If after you go, you know a little bit about them, they're gonna appreciate it if you ask them how to address them, or if you know, this will show that you're well versed in the culture. The father in Arabic is Abu. The mother of Abu. People are called after the names of their firstborn son or daughter. So you can do a lot of tricks like Mr., Mrs. If you get, you know, used to knowing them, the father of, the mother of, anything you're comfortable with, they're gonna appreciate it because they're gonna feel they're, you know, they're at home. And because they're gonna appreciate it even more because you're not expected to know these details. So by showing it, you're showing you're culturally well aware of how to deal with clients. Yes. Yeah, I've seen it in the Arab world. People, especially that the Arab language is very hard, people highly appreciate when people in the West reach out to them. Simple words like marhaba, which is hi in Arabic, or shukran, which is thank you in Arabic. Just a couple words here and there, they make a huge difference in the way they interact with you, because they already know you're making an effort to provide them better service, or to be closer to them, or to listen to them, or to understand them.
If I was meeting with a man and a woman together, would I need to talk to the man only?
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. No, both of them. Start with the woman if you want, unless she's not comfortable with that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
السلام عليكم دكتور.
go
Sorry, Amanda. السلام عليكم دكتور عبلة.
وعليكم
إن شاء الله خير. أنا اسمي حيدر، أشتغل مع Lutheran Family Services.
شرفت بمعرفتك حيدر.
الله يخليك.
حيدر. You know, now I'm violating my own teachings. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today and for a great presentation. I have a question. It's actually not a question. You know, we working in the community meeting where we have different case manager. The case manager team, they meet with people from different culture, and one of the cultures could be Arabic culture. So what you recommend or your advice when we meeting there at their home, what we need to be cautious, and when we meet when meeting with them there, and we basically entering their home.
Like visiting.
Yeah, we're doing home visit. We're doing case management and their home. So what do you think? What is really to be that meeting be effective, at the same time to be sensitive to that culture? What we need to be taken in consideration. Thank you so much.
This is a great question, Haidar, and thank you for asking it. Now, here's the thing. You're not required to know that, but it's good to know that, right? you're showing you're very sophisticated. You understand this culture. People will feel more comfortable. So they won't judge you if you don't follow the steps I'm going to share with you. But knowing these steps, it's a huge way of reaching out to people in a friendly way. First of all, Arab people care about their privacy a lot, right? Usually many women, they're modest in the way they dress. So usually Arab men have this habit of, you knock on the door, you don't just go in, you wait like a little bit. Even in Syria, they have, even when they're allowed to go in, they have this habit of saying, yalla, yalla, or any noise like making, because maybe someone allowed you in, let's say the man, but it's still the woman in the kitchen, she's not veiled, she's not modest, or she doesn't want you to you see her like when she's not ready, right? So just take it easy while you enter a place. And when you're allowed to sit in one place, stay there. So Arabs are not, as a guest, you're treated as a king, and at the same time, you're acting as a royal king. So you're not looking here and there, and you're sitting in the living room, and let's say it's open concept to the kitchen. Don't go move around in the kitchen if they have a frame or paintings, check this and that. Don't do that. Just sit where you're allowed to sit. They're gonna offer you food. It's very, very offensive to say, I'm good, right? Because probably to welcome you, they spent 6 hours in the kitchen preparing that meal. And guys, it's good. Don't miss on Arab food. It's good food. So even if you're on a diet or something, ask for a box to take the meal home if you can't eat it there. But don't just insist, no, I'm gonna, and expect them to keep adding. So you don't make your plate empty the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, because the norm is your plate is empty, we're gonna fill it again. We're gonna keep filling it again. So keep it half, empty, take your time eating it if you don't want more. If you want more, make it empty first 5 seconds. So generosity and hospitality is a big deal. You're going to be offending them if you don't accept from them what they offer you. The other thing is the way the Arab women keep their houses very clean. So the carpet needs not only to be clean, it needs to be pure as well. Why? Because Arab pray, they pray, Muslim Arabs, of course, 5 times a day, including prostrating on the carpet. Some use special rugs. They place it on the carpet, but it means it needs to be very clean, which means if you can, take off your shoes before you go in. They won't tell you take off your shoes, but they're going to be annoyed, especially if it's muddy outside or things. If you can, if you want to be super nice, ask, should I take off my shoes? Or even go ahead, take off your shoes before you step on the carpet. These are some of the things that come to mind when it comes to acting as a good guest in the Arab. And expect a lot of food, hospitality. People are going to keep checking on you. Are you comfortable? The royal or the golden rule is to be treated as a king once you visit someone's house. So expect good treatment. Thank you, Haidar, for the question.
Thank you, Doctor.
Anybody else have any good questions? This has been a great discussion. Do you have any other recommendations on things we can do to make our clients feel more welcome? Anything?
The fact that you're reaching out with this question means a lot, speaks volumes. It means your clients are already lucky to have all of you. Spending an hour with me just to learn about the culture, this is all what people need. And this is going beyond, I would say all of you are going beyond duty here, because the expectation is for them to get the American treatment, which is good, but to add to it, a flavor that I understand your culture, it means even more. Especially, I would say, for people who first arrived to the United States. Before, it's like the cultural shock and all of that. you need to take it easy with them. But with time, it's totally perfect, you know. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any other last minute questions before we let you guys go? No? All right. Well, thank you so much today, Doctor, for your presentation. It was wonderful, very informative, very much appreciated. And thank you, everybody who joined us. And have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to slow down. Listen to Fairuz. Listen to Kulthum. This is your assignment for the day.
Okay.
Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.